Hi, good morning. Welcome to CMA Part 2, Professional Ethics Unit. Professional ethics. Ethics are doing right. So, when a person working in a corporate at senior management level, a CEO, CFO level, should adhere to the company's policies and procedures as per the IMA. As an IMA member, we have some ethics defined by Institute of Management Accountants. As a CMA, being an IMA member, you should carry these ethics to the company to add value to the company. So the topic what we discuss today is professional ethics, which are to be followed by the management accountants. Professional ethics chapter is not a different. This is what you agreed at the time when you become member of IMA. Statement of ethical professional practice. Do you agree to abide by IMA statement of professional ethical professional practice? You'll have to check this box before you proceed to become member. So which means that you are agreeing the institute defined the principles and standards and which are going to use in your professional practice in your company. So here IMA defined principles and the standards. Principles are the ones which you bring home from home, okay, which include your honesty, your fairness, your objectivity, and your responsibility towards your profession. There are no standard definitions for these four principles in IMA, which we expect that you will carry all this. What are they? HFOR: honesty, fairness, objectivity, and responsibility. But standards are those which are set by IMA, giving the definitions, and which you need to adhere to. The standards include, here we have four standards: competence, confidentiality, integrity, and credibility. These are the four standards IMA defined to maintain professional ethics, to do the right things. Competence, confidentiality, integrity, and credibility. CCIC. So please remember these four components of professional ethics: competence, confidentiality, integrity, and credibility. Now let us learn one by one. Competence. Competence is the ability to perform your duties. It tells about the ability of your professional qualifications, your skills, your continuous improvement in performing your professional duties. Confidentiality tells about being a member of IMA, working for a corporate. Every company, whether it's small or big, will have some trade secrets, will have some information which need to be kept confidentially. So you need to agree that you will maintain confidentiality. It is about the confidentiality of the various information. Then the third point is integrity. It is about your third trustworthiness. Trustworthiness in a sense, When you are working for a corporate company, you have to carry out lots of managerial functions. You'll have to conduct various managerial activities. So obviously you will have lots of powers in your hand. So there you will have lots of opportunities to commit some thing wrong, to have the personal benefit. But as an IMA member, you should act in a fiduciary manner. Fiduciary manner means you should act as if you are the owner of the business. So working in a corporate, having lots of authorities doesn't mean that you should do something wrong. In fact, you should take more responsibility, you should be more trustworthy, and you should not tolerate anything which goes wrong in your organization. That's what we deal in integrity. And the last, professional ethics defined by IMA is credibility. Credibility is about your leadership. You may have to communicate various issues to your, subordinates and the members of the company. The information may be a good, maybe bad, maybe good news, maybe bad news, maybe sad news, maybe heavy profits, maybe heavy losses. So all these are to be managed very well and well communicated to the other areas. And also, if any requirement for reporting purpose, any inefficiency in your organization, any insufficiency in the information that need to be reported from time to time. So we'll learn them in detail one by one. But before we go to that, let us have a crispy meaning of each and every professional ethics. Competence is about your professional ability. Confidentiality is about maintaining the information to keep it confidential. Integrity about your trustworthiness, and credibility is about your leadership qualities. Competence. These are the 4 points given by IMA under competence, which you need to strictly follow, and even in the examination as well. Number one, maintain appropriate level of professional expertise. Maintain appropriate level of professional expertise, and not only that, by continually developing the knowledge and skills. As the company needs more and more from you, so we'll have to update ourselves by improving our skills. And the second point under competence include you should perform the professional duties in accordance with the applicable laws and regulations. You are placed in X country, the laws and regulations are different. You are placed in Y country, the laws and regulations are different from state to state, country to country. So we need to perform our duties according to the technical standards and the relevant laws and application regulations. First point is about performing the activities by continually developing the skills, and the second point is about performing the professional duties in accordance with the applicable laws and regulations and technical standards. And not only this, when you're working in a managerial position, say manager finance, you may have a director of finance to report to. So provide a decision support information and also make recommendations. Recommendations and decision support information are to be provided accurate, clear, and of course timely. Not only that, Recognize and communicate professional limitations. Though you are in a good position, senior management level, but you still have some professional limitations. You have to recognize these professional limitations and constraints, then act according to that. So these 4 points you need to keep in mind while answering the questions. One, continually develop the skills. Two, perform the duties according to the applicable laws and regulations. Three, provide decision support information and make recommendations wherever required. Four, recognize and communicate the professional limitations at various levels of the organization, in your section, in your department. Then the next point is confidentiality. Confidentiality is about maintaining the information confidential. There are competitors, there are suppliers, there are third parties who want to know about your business secrets. They may induce, to get the business secrets. So to avoid all this and to maintain your professionalism in your company, keep information confidentially except when its disclosure is authorized. In a sense, higher officials, board of directors, auditors, you may have to disclose them about the financial, about in the of cash management system, about any other secret issues, but only when it is legally required or authorized. Otherwise, keep the information confidential. You are keeping the information confidential, but what is the guarantee that your subordinates will maintain? Being the superior in your department, you may have to sometimes inform your subordinates about confidential information, but at the same time, you should monitor their activities to ensure the compliance. We are also responsible if they release this information to someone else. Therefore, we should always monitor subordinates' activities also about the confidential information. Refrain from engaging confidential information for unethical and illegal advantage. So, if you provide any information to third parties, you may get some illegal advantage. So, refrain from that means you keep away from that. So, these are the 3 points you need to know in confidentiality. Integrity is about your trustworthiness. Every company has some conflicts of interest. Conflict of interest with others. Conflict of interest within the company. Say a finance director or a purchase manager may open a company and ask your company people to buy only the goods from that company. So this is called conflict of interest. An employee may start a competing business. This is called conflict of interest. So as an IMA member, mitigate actual conflict of interest. Mitigate means reduce. For this, what you need to do is regularly communicate with all your business associates and also advise the parties of any potential conflicts which you expect. So, integrity, the first point is mitigation of the conflicts of interest. As a manager, you should work in a fiduciary manner, but the others may induce to perform some illegal activities like suppliers. You are purchasing entire goods from only one single supplier, or you are giving some information that you do this, I will get this. So in other words, it is accepting the gifts. So refrain from that. You will have a confusion here. Refrain and refrain. This is only to get some illegal advantage, the benefit. But here you accept the gifts for giving some information or favor to the others. So integrity is about gifts. Integrity is about conflicts. Integrity is about engaging and supporting any activity that might miscredit the profession. So you should know that conflict of interests are to be mitigated and know any other benefits are to be received for giving any support to the outsiders, and also the abstaining engaging or supporting any activity that spoils the reputation, that discredits the profession. That's what we study in integrity, which you need to adhere to. Credibility. Credibility is about your leadership qualities. Communicate information fairly and objectively. The communication, sometimes you may have to communicate very good results of your business operation, or worst position of the business operations. Both are to be communicated fairly and objectively, and at the same time do not show any kind of bias, personal influence, etc. Next point is to disclose all the relevant information which is expected by the others in a sense, the other departments within the organization. That can be your financial report, that can be your financial analysis, that can be your aging report of inventory, aging report of receivables. Being in accounts, I mean to say. But if you are in purchase department, the reports will be different. The sales department reports will be different. So you need to submit these reports on time and also make recommendations. Disclose all relevant information that could be reasonably be expected to influence an intended users of understanding of reports, analysis, recommendations. Why I'm reading here this information, and in the case of competence, you may see the same. Provide decision support information and recommendations that are clear, accurate, etc. So you may have little confusion about this. Here it is a decision support information. Based on your information, the decisions will be taken. But here the reports, in the credibility, you will have reports, various reports on finding. That is only the information. Okay. And not only that, if you have any delay in your reporting, delay in your information, or any deficiency in the information, that are to be reported. That I can give you this report by next week. That this information is short, so that I need some more information to prepare an analysis. Okay. And conformance with organization policies and procedures. So there are some internal controls in every organization, which we call them as operational procedures, and we need to maintain internal controls as designed. So communicate information fairly and objectively. Disclose all the relevant information, including the reports, analysis, and recommendations, and also delay any delay or deficiencies, etc. need to be reported to get some time for reporting, or to get further information if the information provided is not sufficient, and also confirm that the internal controls are maintained. Once you understand the standards of IMA professional ethics ethics practice, the next point we need to understand is about managing of conflict of interest. Every company has some conflict of interest. Say your purchase manager might have opened a company and also purchasing the goods of requirement of your company only from his company by charging high price, and you are authorized to pay the supplier payments. So when you are paying this amount, so obviously you will be held responsible that how you can pay this amount, okay, without giving this opportunity to any outsider. So you need to call the outsider supplier as well, right? Outside supplier as well. So your company should have a policy called three supplier policy. So you should call from three suppliers for the same goods, expecting the price to be quoted by them. And one of the suppliers will be accepted as an authorized supplier and will be buying the goods from that. But nothing happened. Purchase manager is simply purchasing from his own company for the company he's working for, and you are authorizing the payments. So tomorrow, if the purchase manager is found guilty and he will be penalized, he is a fraudster, then because you are paying, so you will also, the company will also think that you are assisting him because you did not question it. Therefore, we have some points as a management accountant what you need to do if you come across some kind of this conflict of interest. When there is a conflict of interest in the organization, we should first of all inform it to the next supervisor, immediate supervisor. Actually, we should see our company's policies and procedures. If the company's policies and procedures do not resolve it, what we need to do is discuss this issue with the immediate supervisor. But what happens if your immediate supervisor or superior does not care about it? Why? Because he is also involved in that. In that case, this issue is to be presented to the next management level, means his supervisor. What happens even if you don't find any satisfactory resolution? In that case, submit it to the next management level in the same hierarchy. Do not break the hierarchy. But if you are working in a superior level where your next superior is Chief Executive Officer, CEO. So if CEO involved in that, so you cannot um, inform to any lower level. Therefore, the acceptable reviewing authority, if your immediate superior is CEO, next acceptable authority would be the audit committee, executive committee, or board of directors, or the ultimate owners, or the trustees of the business. So remember this point. Discuss the issue with your supervisor unless the supervisor is involved. If the supervisor is also involved in that, bring this issue or present this issue to the next level, and you find resolution, you find the solution for that, it's okay, fine. But if not, then present it to the next management level. So it should go in a organizational hierarchy. If you are working just below the CEO, means next your reporting officer is CEO, and you came to know that CEO is involved in that, whom else you will report it? So the next reporting level would be audit committee, executive committee, board of directors, or board of trustees, or the owners. And one thing you should remember, that any kind of these issues should not be communicated outside the organization. So you're not allowed to communicate this the outside the organization or any authorities outside. So you have an organization hierarchy and report as per this hierarchy. The second point is if you find it is difficult in the organization by reporting it to the next level, to cover up yourself, to be safe, you can discuss with your IMA ethics counselor, because you are an IMA member. So ethical counselor will record that case, and if something goes wrong, you will be saved from that because you already reported that something went wrong. The third point is, if it is very serious issue and you don't know what to do, first of all, then in that case, appoint your own attorney to safeguard yourself. The first point is, report it to your superior. If superior is not involved, if superior is involved in that, present it to the next level. If the next level superior also involved in that, present it to the next level. But if your next level officer is CEO, you don't have any next level after that. Therefore, present it to the audit committee or trustees or board of directors or the ultimate owners of the business. Else, you can inform it to your IMA ethics counselor, or you can have your own attorney to safeguard yourself. Otherwise, what happens is, if you are silent, if you are tolerating this, then you will also be one of the victims. Once the fraud is found, you will also become a fraudster there, though you are not involved in that. So that's the reason why you have to take any one of these three steps. One, present it to the next level, next level, next level, or audit committee if your superior is CEO or executive committee, board of directors, etc. Or present it to IMA ethics counselor, or you can appoint your own attorney.